Hello, everyone. It's Junie checking back in with you regarding Stephen Smith's chart. I think I made a mistake yesterday when we did the recording. I know that I had him at 24 degrees Sagittarius, but then I put him at Capricorn. I think I got the Capricorn mixed up with the Sagittarius. So I identified him as Capricorn. It gets confusing. The first house is being ruled by Sagittarius and Capricorn, okay? And I said Pluto is in Capricorn, which means possibly can mean that there's remains that are found that are deceased. So I just want to correct some things that are on the chart. And I also wanted to update the chart with asteroids for you guys. So asteroids can give a lot more detail to a crime chart. And I think I'm going to start just pulling charts with asteroids from here on out because it does get a little confusing. And yeah, I really need to get into a habit of just posting charts with asteroids. Because they really do give a lot more information. So on the AC line, there is an asteroid sitting there that, I don't know, I think they're important. I do think asteroids are important, especially in crime charts. They're important on natal charts too because they can give a little bit more detailed information about your natal chart as well. But on crime charts, I just feel like they're breadcrumbs that lead to answers and can give a really good description of what was happening with our victim before they died, moments before they died or leading up to their death, okay? So there's this asteroid here called Pholu, and Pallas Athena is over top of them. So I can see where I got this confused because it's really like right on the cusp here. So let's look that up. Pallas Athena is a daughter of Jupiter, and she is a fighter. So it makes me think that he did probably fight for his life, that he was fighting for what he believed in. And let's just see what, it says about this. There's two, that's the symbol of this asteroid, Polis, I believe. So, they say he was stupid. Not that he was stupid, but he was kind. It's hard to explain because all of these asteroids have little stories that go attached to them. And there's over 10,000 of them, so it's really hard to keep track of, guys, and follow. So I have to Google them. There's too many to remember. I mean, there's a couple that stick out, but this is the one that I'm not very familiar with. So with unbridled curiosity comes the death of something grand, as Polis was wondering how a small pointed stick could kill a large beast just before he himself dies from it. Here, painful realizations of boundaries and responsibilities come as you grow. Polis is where one absent-mindedly, even blindly, goes about one's business until he sees the mortal light and crashes, grounded by confrontation of karma and responsibility. So it represents release, self-destruction, awakening, euphoria, searching, intensity, discover, and a catalyst. So, I saw somewhere that someone says it's at a point of no return as well. Also somebody that's having an identity crisis. So, I mean, he was gay, and, and they say that he was proud of it, of being gay. That even shows up in astrology as well. The Seven Sisters, if it shows up on your natal chart in certain houses, yeah, it can indicate that you might, have a child that's going to be homosexual, or they just have more feminine qualities, or they're interested in the opposite sex. I mean, here at Juniper's Tarot, we support everybody. I have no hate towards any group, especially a small group like our gay community. And it shows up in the stars. There's a couple of asteroids and planet positions that can mean that you are bi-curious as well. So it's not unheard of. And these star positions are thousands and thousands and thousands of years old, guys. It's been written in the stars for many years. So that's why I don't show any hate towards any group, okay? I just don't. I don't want to show hate to anybody because it is written in the stars about being gay. So anyway, let's just get back to this. So basically it's just saying that it's someone that's going through a crisis, a point of no return. You look for something that can spark a new battle or even a new life. This placement can have a depressive symptoms in between lifestyles that pique your interest at the time you were confrontational as a child. With time you learned that sometimes it's best to sit back and wait. So, with that being in the first house of our victim, yeah, see here, I Googled it. So it's a point of no return as well. In astrology, asteroid polis represents great moments in our life. It denotes major interpersonal crisis and a turning point. So the other asteroid that shows up is Eros conjunct the sun. I mean, it's like sitting right on top of the killer. If the older man is the killer. And the sun, it goes right over to death. Physical body causing physical harm, and Pluto is there. That means a death. So with this asteroid, a point of no return, standing up for what you believe in, that Stephen may have been going through some type of identity crisis himself. Pallas Athena there is that he was a fighter, and that, maybe in his final moments he did try to fight, or he had a verbal altercation and he was standing up for what he believed in. And if that's being gay, that might be what he was trying to defend. So Eros is the other asteroid that I'm curious about because it's conjunct the sun, and that's showing up in this asteroid right here. It's so close to the sun. So this represents our killer. Something about our killer. And I Googled that for you guys as well. Eros. So, in Roman mythology, Eros was known as Cupid. So, this older man killed Cupid, basically. In Greek art, Eros was depicted as a winged youth, slight but beautiful, often with eyes covered to symbolize the blindness of love. So this is somebody that was definitely in love with Stephen. Sometimes he carried a flower, but more commonly the silver bow and arrows with which he shot darts of desire into the bosoms of gods and men. Eros, the asteroid, mostly travels within the orbit of the planet Mars. And it is conjunct Mars in his chart, so that's passion. Eros overpowers the mind with love and sex. In astrology, Eros represents sexual objectification, passion, and desire, creativity. Eros was the god of passionate and physical desire, and similarly represents these things in an astrological chart. With Eros, the desire for something can come on suddenly and overwhelmingly. Eros can sometimes be a little reckless in pursuit of its desires. So, it is interesting, isn't it? So I really feel like there is a lot of passion here, unless like Alex Murdaugh was the older man that he was having an affair with. I don't know. I mean, Mercury can represent two men younger than 29, younger than 28. Mercury here, but I'm not sure if Mercury is the other people involved or if it's trying to give us a description of our killer, which means that our killer could have asthma, could have allergies, could have a broken nose, could have issues with food allergies, or have issues with their stomach digesting food. And Mars is letting us know that it's passion and rage, and that this is someone that he knew, and that this person looked at our victim as Cupid, like he was in love with him, like passionate. This is a lot of passion in this chart. Juno is another one up here in the 8th house of relationships. Juno next to Venus. Is he trying to protect a female? Vesta's down here as well. You know, it's right on the cusp of in the womb and in the tomb. And it's in Aries, which Vesta means that, you know, his life force was put out. Nasu here, the Nessu, I'm not really sure how to pronounce that asteroid either. That asteroid means abuse. There's some type of abuse happening to him. Close to the 3rd house, near travel in the local area, in the local neighborhood where he was at. Mercury rules back roads and small secluded roads off a beaten path. Also rules the internet and communication, and it is interesting. So with our killer being in Cancer and Gemini, so we're on the cusp of Gemini. We're right on the cusp, so that's 29 degrees and 0 degrees. But you know, this can also be a pale whitely face mixed with but a little redness on the cheeks, of auburn hair, flow of speech, a larger person at times. And it does, you know, that this person might be a little feminine as well. The killer might not be so... There's a lot of homosexuality in this. I'm going to show you a part here. Hold on, I'm trying to hold this with holding my other phone, so just give me a second. Remember, this is Christy McIntosh's book. You guys can get this online on Amazon. It's a great book if you want to start learning criminal astrology. It's really a good book. So, we're going to look at the fixed stars. Because the 29th degree in Taurus means homosexuality. It's the Pleiades, I believe. The 7 sisters. Right here. Okay. So this is our killer. So our killer might actually be feminine as well. An older man that, you know, is gay. So I would say this position here, scandal, disgrace, violence. Yeah, so the 7 sisters, if it shows up on your chart, I mean, there's hints of that, you know, you might be a little bit more feminine depending on the house that it's in, especially if it's in the 1st house. But remember, this is representing our killer. Um, 24th degree represents our killer too. Wealth, power, greed, aggression, quick temper, scandal, So this is all representing our killer, guys. And the 21st degree shows up in, I wonder if his shoulder got hurt. Because this represents the left shoulder. So if Stephen had any injury to his shoulder, it shows up in the astrology too, including the color yellow, and that he was with someone that he knew. Because the 11th house rules people that you know. So let's look up the 24th degree of Sagittarius in Kirsty's book. She breaks down charts in this book too, guys, and teaches you how to do it, and looking at the charts in crime. But you kind of need to know a little bit about astrology first before you start, you just learn the basics of reading the natal chart first before you grab this book. So we're looking at the 24th degree in Sag, right? Yeah. 24th degree in Sag. Desperation. So this would be our victim. This is Stephen. I would say, this one and this one here. So if you think about it, he was desperate and he was at a point of no return, because if we look at his asteroids, it says, that he was at a point of no return. Eros, this killer was totally in love with Stephen. I mean, blinded by love, passionate physical desire. And that is sitting directly on top of the killer, the older man. And our victim is showing up at a point of no return, a crisis with these asteroids. He didn't think that there was anything wrong with the way that he was. Stephen thought that he was, that it's, there really isn't anything wrong with who he is. He's a beautiful boy. Really is a good-looking kid. Beautiful, beautiful kid. Okay? I'm calling him a kid. I'm calling him a child, because to me he's a little kid. I'm 50. But, I mean, he was okay with who he was, and he was dating an older man that probably was ashamed of who he was, is what I'm thinking. He didn't see anything wrong with being gay. So, I mean, it's very interesting. It's so sad, because he was so young. So Juno to me is protecting a relationship and willing, it's in the house of death. So willing to die over a relationship. I'm curious if this older man that he was in a relationship with, that was madly in love with Stephen, or, looked at Stephen like Cupid. That this man was emotionally unstable. I believe that Stephen has an injury to his shoulder and his head. This is a very passionate chart, guys. I feel like it's a crime of passion. I mean, does that completely rule out Alex Murdaugh? No. But to me, this is a crime of passion. But, I mean, I would still make sure to clear Alex Murdaugh and Buster and all them. I mean, because this could be a family, the father, and the two boys. Because usually Mercury is two boys. Gemini rules boys. Coming from the father's line too. Gemini. Mercury rules siblings, so, and communication. All right, so I just wanted to correct that yesterday about the AC line and Capricorn and all that. And, you know, let you know that he's being ruled by Jupiter. I'd like to know if the man that he was having an affair with had a girlfriend or a wife. That'd be interesting to know. And, you know, with Aries and this asteroid here, it kind of, and Athena, is that he was willing to fight for what he believed in. And to me, this older man, unless Alex Murdaugh was madly in love with Stephen, I mean, this is, he's looking at our victim like Cupid. I mean, this is someone that gets shot with the arrow of love, and it just goes absolutely insane. If you know the Greek mythology stories of Eros, I mean, he's basically where the story Cupid comes from. And you get shot with the arrow, and then you're blind. You're blind with love. And then you conjunct that with Mars, which is passion and rage, emotions. I mean, this just feels like a crime of passion to me. And, I mean, it's got homosexuality all over it. So, I mean, this is someone that he was with that was gay as well, or bisexual, or in the closet or something. But he's older, so that rules out Buster right there. That would rule out Buster. Unless Buster's the Mercury, but I'm not sure if Mercury is showing us as a person. It could just be giving us a description of our killer. So, this is a man older than 29, guys. And, I mean, look, Eros goes right over to his physical body in death. So, this is somebody that was in love with him. And it was a secret. And it was an explosion of rage. At the end of the matter, just an explosion, and they hit it and took out his life force, because there's Vesta. Put out his light forever. Vesta is your life force, the light that shines within you. He means that hit to his head is what did him in. The hit to the head took his light, took his life. It's very sad. But with the 11th house here, it you know, is also showing that he's with people that he knows. He was with someone that he knew. So it couldn't just be a drive-by, a hit and run. And that whole thing with the 11th, his DNA being found on the color yellow. Literally, his head was found on the yellow strip of the road, and his car was yellow, and the 11th house rules the color yellow. That's amazing to me. All right, so I just wanted to share the asteroids with you and do the correction. You know, the asteroids kind of hint around that this was a gay love affair with an older man. Okay, that's what I have so far. Remember, everyone mentioned in this video is innocent until proven otherwise. This is not fact. Please don't take this as fact. This is just astrology. We're just having, you know, looking at criminal astrology. We're looking at the planets in a negative aspect, okay, in true crime. Okay? That's all we're doing. So, we can't use it in a court of law, but it is interesting. Blessings to you all. Blessed be. Bye-bye now. I'll see you guys soon.